Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates, and I'm at it again doing one of my favorite things, which is making sugar cookie cutouts. And Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so I thought I would make some heart-shaped cookies and sit and visit with you while I cut the cookies out. I've got some cutters here, just various sizes and styles of cutters. This is a stamp, a cookie stamp, and then these are just varying sizes. I had a whole stack of these that went from large to small, but I've only been able to round up this one. I'm not sure what I did with the other ones. I've got this cute little tiny heart one. That's a punch. I think I'm going to use this one for the fondant. So what I'm going to do is roll out the sugar cookie dough, put them all on a pan, bake them, and then I'll do another video of me decorating them. I also have this really pretty wood block cookie mold. So we'll see what I can come up with. I also found online this really pretty wax paper. There's 3 different prints, but I'm just showing you the heart-shaped one today. And I'm going to use these in the packaging. And my goal, if I can stay on course, because I get distracted, is to package them up in a real pretty way and mail them to 2 friends in the area that always love when I make sugar cookies. So to start out, I have my sugar cookie dough made and wrapped in wax paper. And I made this with really good Amish butter. And it's been wrapped, it's yesterday, but it was in the refrigerator and I left it out to get room temperature. And try not to handle it too much, so I like to put a piece of wax paper on top, and that way I can roll it without getting my hands all over it. But I think I should go get some flour for dusting. Oops. For dusting the surface. Get my wax paper unwrinkled here. So I'm going to try to roll it out in a nice even surface. I do have a rolling pin that has those guides that kind of helps you roll everything to an even thickness, but I'm going to just trust my judgment. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some flour. So I dusted my flour, I dusted my cookie dough with a little bit of flour so that hopefully when I cut them they won't stick. This recipe for this sugar cookie dough though calls for cornstarch, and I think it helps it hold together a little bit better. So let's start with, let's see, I think I'll start with this one. I love this shape. And I have seen people put a piece of plastic wrap over the top and cut them. But this is just such a fun, relaxing little project, I guess I'd call it. Making sugar cookie cutouts. I've loved doing it ever since I was a kid. And I'm thankful we had a mom that let us bake cookies all the time. It was one of our creative outlets. So I learned how to make a basic sugar cookie dough probably when I was as young as 6 years old. And sometimes I make it without even following a recipe. Like this one, for instance, is it's about 3 cups of flour, 2 sticks of butter, a whole tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Did I say 2 sticks of softened butter? What else is in it? A teaspoon of baking powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a cup of sugar, and I whip the sugar in the butter, and then I add the vanilla, and then I add it's 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, and then I sift the flour, the baking powder, and add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and the salt, and sift it in and blend it. And I use a hand mixer. I got a little blob of flour on there, until it can't handle it and it gets too thick. And then if it's too soft, I'll just add a little more flour. But the best way to get your dough to stiffen is just to chill it. And there are some recipes where they say it's a no chill dough, but I always get better results if I chill my dough first. I'll take this one out. I'm going to try to have a whole pan of this shape, and then cut the center out of some of them and make a slightly thinner one the exact same shape to make a Linzer cookie, where you put the jam, a little bit of jam underneath, and then sandwich it with the cutout one on top. But I'll show you that. I did those for Christmas last season, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, called Linzer cookies. I can see with some of my vanilla extract, because I didn't use the clear vanilla extract, didn't get blended in perfectly. It'll just be a yummier bite of cookie, I guess, but I'll take it out for now. That's what that was. I've not used the clear vanilla extract. I always use pure vanilla extract. But I guess I must have mixed this. I don't know. I can just see the vanilla. But like I said, it'll just have a yummier bite. But this is a very good dough. It's usually very smooth. And some people like really thin sugar cookies. I used to work for a sugar cookie company, actually, where they decorate them and display them on a stick and make cookie bouquets. And their cookies were very thick. They also used part margarine, and they said that that was to help the consistency of the dough not run so much or spread across the pan. But I'm an all butter girl. I like to use all butter and good butter. So this is a nice fresh Amish butter. So I have my pan just that fast. There's, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Oops. And so I'm going to move this aside. And with this bit, I'm going to try the cookie mold. Let's see what we can get. I've never used this. So I'm going to start with a round little ball. Press it in. My oven is preheated, if you just heard the beep. So I'm going to go ahead and get these directly in the oven. Now I did hear if you chill the cutouts, it'll keep them from spreading as much. But I'm going to go ahead and just put mine right in the oven. So let's see how this comes out. Yep, it's coming out nicely, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, how pretty. Look. It's nice. It will make a thick cookie, but that's okay. I'll try to make 3 like this. I don't need to roll it under the wax paper. I will. I don't know, it just seems better to not handle the dough so much. Do it that way. There's another one. So I can get it to come out without ripping. Ta-da! It tore a little bit. That's alright. Try my luck at one more. That one did get a little gummed in there. Let's get it out. There we go. So anyway, sugar cookie cutouts is something I look for an excuse to make for almost every holiday, even St. Patrick's Day, which is going to be right around the corner. I love to do the shamrock shake cookies. I don't make as many of those, but Christmas cutouts and Valentine cutouts are one of my favorite. And then I like to do Easter and flower cutouts for Mother's Day. And then the cookies and the baking kind of gets pushed aside until autumn, and then I like to do leaf cutouts around mid-September until Thanksgiving. And then we roll right back into Christmas cutouts. I did buy some 4th of July themed cookie cutters for last year, but I never ended up making any cookies. Seems like in the summer months I like to do more chilled, cold type desserts and treats. Okay, so I've got 3 of these. Those are pretty. And then maybe with the last of this dough, I'll try the cookie stamp. So I can get these in even portions. Make a nice round ball. Yeah, I'm really happy with the consistency of this dough. Those of you who don't know, I'm a potter and I work with clay a lot. So any chance I get to use dough or pie crust or anything in that general consistency, it's just as much fun to me. Okay, so I don't know if I need to roll this bigger. It seemed to flatten out okay, but will it come out of the mold is the question. I think I'm going to flour it and do it again. Let's try it again. See, I've dusted it a little bit with flour. And I'll give it a little head start there. And now press it. Let's see if that makes any difference. Actually, might have made it too thin. Okay. This one needs a little playing with. I've not used this one before. Try something. I'm just fiddling. I like this scalloped one. It's a little small. Oh, you know what would be cute is a round cutter. But I didn't bring one over, so we'll just keep him small. And I'm probably just not using enough dough. So we'll try it again. Make a little round disc and flour it. press. This one's much better, I can already tell. There we go. Just needed a little bit more dough and not quite as firm of a press. So I'm going to do this again. And there we go. That worked great. There's this little tad bit of dough. I'll discard that and get another cookie sheet, put these on, and go stick these in the oven. So I just cut out the ones for the Linzers, where there's the little cutout in the center. Oops. And my first pan are just about done. What I like about these is you then also get that cute little small one. So we'll have to do something fun with that. Oh, I better go turn that off. And then the next ones, I thought I would try this old-fashioned spritz maker. I've had a cookie gun a couple of times in my cookie making career, but I'm just gonna have fun with this old-fashioned spritz maker because this is what we used as kids. It does slip sometimes though, so I'm not sure I'm gonna have much success with it. It's coming apart at the tip. Uh-oh. I think my dough might be a little too stiff. So my plan was to use my old-fashioned spritz maker, and it failed me. I think I made the same dough as the sugar cookie dough, and I should have used the regular spritz maker recipe because the dough was too stiff. So I had too much trouble getting it to squeeze out, and it would have been much easier. I decided to just roll the dough out and cut them as well. But I have this really pretty roller. It's a laser cut one with a rose print. So I'm going to go ahead and try this one. And I'll make another batch of my spritz dough and try those again later. And I never use the handles of my rolling pin. I feel like I get better pressure if I use my actual hands. So I've never used this on cookies. I've actually never used it, so I hope the imprint doesn't melt away in the oven. And then I thought I could like put shimmer mist, not shimmer mist, it's like a shimmer dust over the top so that the embossing will show up better. I'm not sure you'll see these real well. We'll do a slightly larger one too. Let's do, I didn't do this one. This will be a big one. I've got all of the ones I cut out already baked. And let's see. Let's do another one of these. Can I fit that on there? I'll do a slightly smaller one. So I have decided in the past that the best way to mix your coloring in is with your whipped butter and sugar. And if you color it then, it's much easier to blend the color in. Sometimes you don't get as deep of a color as you want, but I don't really want a really deep pink anyway. I love this pink, and I think it'll be really pretty with a little bit of white piping or white dusting, so I'm going to go that route. And this just seems to be the cutter of choice today. It just seems to make the perfect size. And I will cut the center out on some of them. So thanks for visiting with me while I do one of my favorite pastimes, which is sugar cookie cutouts. So there's that one, there's that one. The camera seems to be making the dough look a little orange. I promise you, it's pink. Do a few more of this one. You know what, let's do a couple of those stamped ones in this dough. I haven't made any with this dough. I think I've got the hang of this stamp now. You just want to make your little disc thicker than you think. Then it releases nicely. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. I'll make 3 of these. I think my pan has room for about 3 more. On those thicker ones that I made with this wood cut, I baked them at 335 Fahrenheit for 12 minutes, but the regular sugar cookie cutouts I did 350 for 10 minutes, and that seemed to be just right. You can see I forgot to dust this one. I hope it releases okay. Oh, it does. It released just fine. So there's one, but let me dust this one. Two. And one more. Okay. And that seems to be all this pan will hold, so I'll go ahead and pop these in the oven. And then I'll finish baking off the rest of the pink dough, and then my next video I will decorate them. That's always the fun part too, maybe even more fun. But I'm going to use this tiny little punch and do rolled fondant and cut little heart cutouts and little fun tricks like that. So I hope you'll join me again for the second part of my Valentine sugar cookie cutouts. I'll talk to you again soon.